morning, Cecil County. I'm Grant Handley, your host for today. It's Wednesday, December 4th, and welcome to Cecil TV's morning show. Happy to have you here. Let's get to the weather. Today we'll have increasing clouds with a high near 42 degrees. Expect light west wind becoming south to 11 to 16 miles per hour in the morning. Wind gusts could go as high as 25 miles per hour. For tonight, a chance of showers after 1 a.m. It'll be cloudy with a low around 38 degrees and breezy with a southwest wind of 17 to 21 miles per hour. Wind gusts could be as high as 33 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 40%. And Thursday, a slight chance of rain and snow showers before 10 a.m. Okay, it's whimsical. Mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming sunny with a high near 38. It'll be breezy with west wind going 20 to 25 miles per hour. Wind gusts could get as high as 46 miles per hour on Thursday, and the chance of precipitation is 20%. A lot of exciting events happening in Cecil County today and this week. Tonight, versatile baritone Charlie Zam returns to Showcase on Main in Elkton. Celebrate this season with Charlie's rich, resonant voice as he performs timeless holiday classics that will warm your heart and lift your spirits. You can get tickets via Eventbrite, or you can check out Showcase on Main in Elkton online. Now through Christmas, visit the Cecil County Arts Council's Art Mart. Purchase unique, handcrafted items, perfect gifts for this season. The event showcases works from dozens of area artists. Also explore the 6th annual Wonderland of Reefs. And this weekend begins the 2-week run of Disney's Beauty and the Beast at the Milburn Stone Theater on Cecil College's campus. It will be the focus of tomorrow's morning show, as we'll have the artistic director, Andrew Mitchell, as our guest. That is a great musical. I've seen Beauty and the Beast all sorts of different forms, and I've enjoyed it every time. So that's great. Go out to Cecil College and support them. Now some local news around the area. Really exciting stuff. The Cecil Whig is reporting the arrival of Asha and Jill, 2 young giraffes at the Plumpton Park Zoo. Following the deaths of Jimmy and Annabelle, the pair of females are the hoped-for companions of the zoo's lone young male, Kazar. The newly arrived giraffes are in 30-day quarantine. They're really cute. Check them out on Plumpton Park Zoo's Facebook page to learn more there and their efforts to hope to retain the giraffes. The feature for today, turning into today's topic, last night was the first county council work session and legislative session following the inauguration of the new county executive, Adam Strait, and new council person, Dawn Branch, and re-elected Bob Meffley. With me to discuss the proceedings is Doug Donley, our executive director. Doug, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Grant. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, of course, of course. It's been a pretty busy week if you were newly elected in Cecil County. First, let's talk about the inauguration that occurred on Monday. Doug, is my understanding that you were there checking things out?
Yes, we were there. We shot it, and it's now on our website for anyone who wants to watch it. It was a nice event. The Adam Strait gave a very nice, good, optimistic speech, as did the others. One of the highlights of it was the music. The Elkton High School chorus they were excellent. They did 3 songs. They were up in the balcony, and terrific percussion and bass. They were great. So otherwise, there were a lot of dignitaries there, a lot of law enforcement, of course, because of Adam Strait, and some military and Harford County officials and so forth. So it was well attended.
Doug, I'm curious. Adam ran on a campaign that publicly always revolved around 2 issues. That was police support and public education support. When he spoke at the inauguration, was that typically what he was highlighting, or was there any other aspects of his administration that he covered in his speech? Just kind of curious what that looked like.
He did not emphasize the school aspect, though he did. He talked about his 5 pillars, which we actually mentioned yesterday, and now I won't attempt to recite them all, but a lot of it has to do with, public safety, maintaining the the controlled development and our rural legacy, etc. And other things. But yes, it will be a challenge for him, though. He was the big supporter of Fund CCPS. The funding problems do not go away with his arrival, and we'll have to see going forward how that all plays out.
Yeah, to fully fund CCPS and provide funding benefits for the sheriff's office while also trying to be more efficient with permitting timelines and things like that is all very admirable goals, but it certainly are challenges, and those things all come with cost, and they'll be curious to see how him and his administration can navigate that moving forward. Speaking of administration, Doug, yesterday was arguably probably more important than the inauguration. Yesterday was the day where Adam Strait presents to the Cecil County Council his recommended appointees for his administration. So there are a couple individuals and offices there that he had recommended. I know he filled vacancies for his director of administration, his economic development director, his director of emergency services, human resources director. And is there one more I'm forgetting there, Doug?
Did you mention human resources?
I believe so. There's a fifth. I'll have to go to the agenda.
Well, last night they introduced, and the council had the opportunity to question 5 people. Firstly, Dan Schneckenberger, who will be the new director of administration. He is a well-known figure. He actually was director of administration for a period under Danielle Hornberger, and that his departure from that position was brought up by Donna Culberson, who attempted to find out why he was asked to resign, but he apparently signed a NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, so he could not say. But otherwise, I'd say the reception was friendly for Dan, and he's highly experienced and knows the county well. I have always thought of him as sort of yes, he's a conservative, but he's kind of a technocrat. He's very knowledgeable about infrastructure and so forth. And I don't know.
He had experience sitting on the council too, so it's interesting.
Experience on the council, and
he's had a council seat. He's been in an administrative role before, and here he is again. So, congratulations to Dan, and all very exciting. The last office, Doug, that was eluding my mind was the attorney, arguably probably more controversial ones.
Yes,
not for this time,
and that
transition.
The Adam Strait has appointed Keith Baines to be the county attorney. Keith Baines is a long-time circuit judge, probably the best known judge and attorney in Cecil County, and he brings with him a wealth of experience. I mean, it would in the back and forth. Bob Meffley alluded to the fact that way back he was the attorney for Chesapeake City, and I think has been, he's had a wealth of experiences on either side of the bench and so forth. And but interestingly, Donna Culberson had some questions for him as well, and related to I guess one of her pet subjects was the policy during the pandemic, in which apparently the people at the circuit court who were county employees were somehow, they were, I guess, yeah, everybody was just developing policy on the fly during the pandemic, but apparently they were told that if they needed to be either vaccinated or they needed proof of, a negative test. And so, and then there was some question about, anyway, she asked him about all this, the policy and so forth, and reaction to the policy. And he said that this was all, they followed the rules of the state in terms of how they employees of the court were treated. And anyway, so but she went on with 3 or 4 different questions about that subject. Anyway, but eventually they all moved on. And so then Adam Strait has appointed Sandra Edwards, who has been the number 2 at the Office of Economic Development. She is well-known, experienced, and as I think has been running the department for a while.
I believe she's been in an acting role for a while there. So that's a big well-deserved to her. That's great.
Yes,
that's cool.
And then also Patrick Campbell is the new director of EMS. Patrick Campbell, I think, mostly works out of the Rising Sun Fire Company. He's highly experienced with as a fireman, was a fireman in Baltimore City, I believe, and has had an assortment of managerial positions, and seems well qualified. He's he's a younger man than the previous holder of this position, and we wish him luck. And then Sally Kilby Thompson is appointed to as the new director of human resources. And did I leave anyone out? I don't think so.
No, the only other notable hire I can think of is the public information officer, but that does not require county council permission.
Yeah, I guess not. That's Robert Royster. I met him, and we will be, as the press, we will be dealing with him.
Sure.
I don't know
Doug,
anything.
Are all these people from Cecil County? All these appointees?
With the exception of Robert Royster, whose background I don't know. Yes, they are all Cecil Countyans, which is a departure from Danielle's appointees, which came from remote locations. But there were other issues talked about last night. First of all, Al Miller is the new council president.
Oh, congratulations to Al Miller. That's great.
He was chosen unanimously by the council. Bob Meffley is the new vice president, but he did not get a unanimous endorsement. He was Rebecca Hamilton and Donna Culberson, I guess, thought he should not be vice president, and they registered a nay vote for him.
Now, is Bob allowed to vote for himself in those instances?
Yes.
To make it the 3-2?
Yes. So it was 3-2, and that could well be the pattern as we go forward. Sure. So, but they also talked about 3 initiatives on the part of the administration. One is they are requesting $50,000 for a cybersecurity upgrade. This is you would probably expect nothing else from a county IT department, to ensure, because counties have been targets of ransom attacks and so forth, and they need to protect themselves. Then they discussed a economic development study to find out where the county should be going in terms of development. Now, we have not done an economic development study since 2013. And so much has changed. Think of what's changed since 2013. Great Wolf Lodge, Bainbridge,
Right.
Southfields. I'm sure the I-95 interchange. All these things are new and impact development. And then finally, they talked about $50,000 to develop a new county website, which is, I guess, something a lot of people are looking forward to.
There's a couple interesting thoughts there, Doug. I'll start on the website first because there's a couple things that pop in mind. There's in a couple of years coming through the pipeline, there's some new ADA-esque requirements that require meeting minutes to be accessible via the website for those that are either blind or deaf or have other impairment abilities. So the meeting minutes seem to be accessible, whether it's text to speech, talk to speech, and softwares like that. And how a lot of government websites work right now is they're not functional to do that. So a lot of meeting minutes are just scanned PDF files that then get uploaded. So it's really like a photograph. So there is no algorithm in store for that text to get read by a software because it's just looking at a photograph. It can't tell you what the photograph is. So that is a big requirement that needs to get handled throughout the next years, or else you'd be looking at potential lawsuits. So I bet when they revamp the county website, I bet that's one of the priorities they have to think about moving forward. Once again, it's important, super, I totally understand it, but it can get frustrating because it's these unfunded mandates that I know can put governments in a tricky position, because that's gonna cost a lot of money. And I'm sure it's not the 50,000 is not going all to that, but once again, it's just the county's gonna have to try to scrap up some money to meet those requirements.
Right. There was some question actually from Rebecca Hamilton about whether $50,000 is enough to develop a new website. I don't know. Apparently, the administration said that this was a project that had already been considered in the previous administration. So there is some groundwork. But I think that the goal is consistency from department to department in the website, which you don't entirely have now. And anyway, the website's pretty old. It doesn't work terribly well on a mobile device. So
right. Yeah, the study I found interesting too. All campaign trail, we heard every candidate talk about smart growth and preserving rural heritage the right way and managing growth the right way. But then you don't really hear what a tangible plan looks like after those remarks. So from an outsider looking in, as someone who doesn't have all the information, I believe some sort of plan, whether that's through a consultant, a committee, or however the administration wants to pursue that, it sounds like a sound idea to me, just to get some actual feedback and some actual planning and some actual analysis of where our county is now, where it could go or it can't go. Because we just hear the rhetoric all the time, smart growth and managing smart growth.
Right.
But then what does that look like? So any sort of plan, I welcome.
Right.
Now, can they go about the process the right way is the next challenge. But the idea of hitting it early, I think, is a good idea.
Right. What occurs to me is that we're currently looking at an issue at Carpenter's Point, which is a zoning planning issue. The land that is would appear to be legally developable, but is a huge swath of at least looking at it from Google Maps, a very large wooded area, which is like part of the character of Carpenter's Point, is owned by you know, the who do you call it? The Stewarts, and is they could legally level it from mining of gravel, etc.
Right.
So, that's something that you, how does planning and zoning interact with development and rural balance and all that stuff? It's complicated.
And proper stormwater management and proper sediment control and proper forest conservation, all those things communicate. All those things require to be communicated with any planning and zoning project. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays into long term, because you have to account for those things in any sort of long term development.
Right. Right.
But all interesting stuff, Doug, and hopefully the administration and council can address these things the right way and create a future that everybody's happy about. And we'll be here following the progress as it goes along, no doubt.
Yes. As we'll all try to stay happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Doug, thanks for chatting with us about it. I look forward to future discussions, and hopefully we can provide more updates to the public sooner rather than later with these projects.
Yes. Thanks, Grant.
Yep. To our viewers, thank you for watching Cecil TV. If you think programs like this are valuable, please consider becoming a donor to Cecil Public Media. And remember that through the end of the year, your donations are matched by Newsmatch. That's free money. Free money. So let's prioritize that if you can. Just go to Cecil TV, www.cecil.tv, and click donate. Have a great day. It's chilly out there. Stay warm, and we'll see you tomorrow.